Good stuff. Well, we're going to settle in here at center court. We've got the best seats in the house. Maybe the only better seats are the ones that you've got. If you're watching right now at watchstadium.com or on the Stadium app, thrilled to have you along as the players finish their final down and back throws and get ready for this singles championship match. Congratulations again to Jerry Stallions for grabbing the Hampton Farms Big Blindfold Challenge cash. Yeah. Nicely done there. And Jack Harrow and Matt Gammon right now taking their final down and back, getting ready for a match that's going to look like what, Phil?
It's going to look like a lot of bags in the hole. When you see Jack Harrow, what you see is just a nice, smooth pitch.
Look at that. And that
slide in the hole.
That final airmail for the final down and back is going to precede him plugging his ears. And I don't think he's putting in earbuds. I think he's putting in ear plugs just to kind of tune out some of the noise around center court here. But we saw Jack Harrow play one of the more deliberate games when we were in
We did, but man,
Owensboro
against Shane Childers last week, the winner.
Absolutely,
major,
absolutely. So, Matt, you saw earlier as part of our doubles championship team with his father, and I had to laugh, and for the longest time I did. I thought they were brothers, and I had to laugh at that because I think his dad probably would appreciate that.
Yeah, he would. I'm gonna tell you.
So, Shelbyville, Kentucky, the Bluegrass State in the red lane, represented by Matt Gammon, and Moody, Alabama. Jack Harrow at 48 years of age, playing out of Heart of Dixie Cornhole. He's been playing about 3 years. He's throwing out of the blue lane as the higher seed, the number one seed coming into this tournament, as a matter of fact.
And what do you expect from Jack? 4 bags right down the middle, and so with Matt Gammon.
And what did you mention? A lot of bags in the hole was your very first observation before one bag was even gripped, ripped, and flipped. And I'll tell you what, this could be one of those nights when we're here for quite some time.
That's right. We talk about the people sitting and watching, the games. The whole time the doubles was going on, Jack Harrow was in my view to the right, and he never sat down. He pitched bags, and he pitched bags, and he pitched bags. So he has no excuse for not being warmed up.
No, absolutely. And I think, you look at the game that Matt had, and honestly, there was so much stress associated with that game. I don't know if he would be considered warmed up or more nervous right now, having an opportunity to step up and participate individually without Father Todd across the way.
Yeah, and, Jack has made himself into one fine player over the 3 years. He's been involved in multiple. And there we see Matt. Matt's not scared to shoot it.
No, he's not wearing that pro jersey for no reason whatsoever. And Jack has a major win out in Mesquite, Nevada. And I have a feeling a lot more purple jerseys are coming his way. That's going to be a 5 spot.
Yeah. And Jack starts out exactly like we said, 8 bags in a row.
And this is the winner's bracket final to determine who will sit in the king's seat. The winner of this will await the winner of the elimination final. So whoever loses this will move down to play Zach Scheibner, who you just saw just a moment ago.
Yeah, who's actually sitting over there playing on his phone.
Yes, he is. So we'll see exactly what that yields later on down the line. You would have thought that perhaps they had learned a particular lesson over the course of a number of majors that we've called the action for here on center court. But
I don't know if there's ever been a perfect game played, but if somebody could do it, I think Jack Harrow could.
It's very possible.
Yeah. Same motion every time.
You see Zach stepping up, and he's grabbed his bags, and he's
thank you. Listen to me.
Moving over to a couple of boards that are still set up to stay warm.
2 more for Jack.
Jack's going to pick up another deuce. That's going to put him up on the crooked number 7, 7-0.
And the one that doesn't win this will play Zach to get a chance to come back to Mr. Harrow or whoever wins this match. Matt Gammon.
I love it, too. It was funny. I was talking to Jack and said, besides cornhole, we always laugh about cornhole players. Their hobbies are cornhole and cornhole.
Yeah.
But I said, what other stuff do you do? Because, he's a relatively young 48. And he said, dirt track racing.
Yeah.
I go, you're a dirt track racer? He goes, watching dirt track racing.
He likes to watch it.
Now, our executive producer, Eric Heinerman, did a lot of competitive motorcycle racing over the years, but he seems to have emerged from a lot of that more unscathed than he does from these major tournaments where he wrestles the pavement and occasionally has to tap out.
That might be some adult beverages involved in that.
So if anybody is listening he hasn't tapped out yet, he says. No, he gave me the look. But if anybody from Johnson & Johnson or the Neosporin Company is listening, we're looking for endorsement opportunities. All right, there's a 4 spot now that's going to crack that goose egg for Matt Gammon. Nicely done there.
And there went the perfect game.
There it was. You had
just
to
like
say
that.
It.
I jinxed him.
Matt was telling me he'd love to play a game against Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
how fun would that
playing
be?
a game of cornhole against Adam Sandler? How long that would take because you'd be doubled over most of the time.
He would not be able to stand up. I'm hoping I get to play with Kevin Costner out at the Field of Dreams.
Well, there you go. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming those dreams. Now he's got Jack maybe a little bit out of his groove. Interesting that slick board came back to bite him. That's a nice bag and a replacement bag there. Although I got to be honest with you, I'm going to have to talk to Jack after all is said and done and find out about those socks where he was able to pick those up.
He's a sock wearing guy. He had a different one on last week. We didn't even talk about.
We did.
So, it's funny how these guys have picked up those socks. Those socks are really popular around the world nowadays.
Yep. It's a lot of fun. Just everything that the players wear from tip to toe, all the way down, from shoes to the top of their lid. I mean, you know, we saw Zach a moment ago, who we'll see here in just a few minutes. Zach Scheibner playing with a hood up. I mean, everybody there's little quirks, and everybody has their way of getting it done. Now we're knotted at 7. Matt making a nice little comeback there after being down 7-0.
And a race to 14, as I like to say. I expect a lot of bags in the hole, like I told you. Very nice replacement. And he almost got what he was wanting.
Interesting. He's going to try to sneak around to the left and pick them both up.
And he did. Man, that man is a fine player.
That's a really good bag from. And this time he's doing it from.
That was a good bag,
that
too.
side of the board.
Yeah.
From the side that gives him the best opportunity to do just that. Going to try it again.
Oh. Man.
And just as good as that last one was, is how much he wants that other one back.
That one kicked off a little bit on him.
Jack going to come up and around, and he skips over the top as if there was a piece of plexiglass over the hole right there. So 8-7, Matt able to put up the penny on top right there as these guys continue to work their way through. Jack, the number 1 seed, coming in to the Bradenton area tournament, and Matt Gammon coming in as the number 3 seed. Zach Scheibner, who awaits the loser of this match, comes in as the 28 seed.
And you know who the number 2 seed was in between them? Was T-Bone.
T-Bone?
Yeah.
Dawson. If you look over your shoulder right now, you see Zach Scheibner over there.
He's finally
grabbed his bags, and he's on a set of boards, and he's staying loose and ready to go. So that's a good sign. I think we're going to have ourselves a couple of great matches still to come, and we're thrilled that you're here with us watching on WatchStadium.com or on the Stadium app. We ask you to please share. Feel free to go back and look at any of the ACO content. When you go to the WatchStadium.com and you look up at that search opportunity there where it says Watch Live, there's a drop-down list. American Cornhole proudly listed there as the cornhole arm of the Stadium Sports Network. So many great sports there, and we are thrilled to be the cornhole part of it. Speaking of that, being the cornhole part of an organization, the American Cornhole Organization, bringing cornhole to the World Senior Games for the first time ever in May, back in the Sunshine State in Fort Lauderdale. So there's an opportunity for you to find out more at AmericanCornhole.com. If you are a senior, 55 and over, and you want to be part of the World Senior Games, you can be from anywhere you'd like to be. We have a young lady in her mid-90s who's going to be competing, as a matter of fact. So AmericanCornhole.com, if you want to be part of the World Senior Games, nothing's stopping you.
Yeah,
except maybe
look into that
the ability
myself.
to use a computer.
I may have to look into that myself. And there are a lot of
what a shot.
That was a great shot.
Nicely done over the top.
There are a lot of seniors that's not technology. You know, and wow. Look at Matt.
Oh, and he's going to shoot the airmail. Nicely done again. Man. How about that?
No fear. Just fire right over.
All right, Jack's got to put that low bag out of his out of his purview there. And is he going to try that hard push to try to take them both?
Big push right here.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't get either one.
Matt is not going to shoot this one, I promise you. Right now he's sitting at 4 points. It might be good for him to just walk down with the bag, take the 4.
Throw it off the board, yeah. Well, he felt like there was picked up and ended up picking up the 5th, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was some risk, I guess, that could have hit the board and dropped Jack's other bag in there.
Well, we saw him do it twice in the doubles.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. 13-9, big round. And Jack is a little off as what we expected.
Well, you got to wonder if, is it possible that he threw himself out during all of the warm-up?
Maybe the opposite effect
there. So, but boy, I tell you, friends of mine who say, "Oh my gosh, I'm pretty good at cornhole, and how do I get involved?" I hook them up locally in the Cincinnati area where the home office is, and say, you find yourself a certified official in the ACO. They'll put together a regional for you to come out and be a part of. You can start earning points and being part of these majors. But so many people that I talk to that say it looks so easy when they see it on Stadium or no matter where you see pro cornhole play, they make it look so easy. It is so difficult.
It is.
To do this on a regular basis, especially think about this, Phil. The hours over the course of a weekend, not just the travel and everything else, but the number of hours on a Friday, the number of hours on a Saturday.
Yeah,
come into play.
It's like all day.
Yeah, mentally, physically taxing. Great exercise. If you are a senior, it's a great opportunity for exercise. And honestly, for juniors, it beats the hell out of sitting glued to a video game.
That's true.
An entire weekend. And so glad to see so many of our junior players. 14-9 Matt Gammon over Jack Harrow, and Jack throwing out of the lower seed blue lane. Loses.
I was talking to somebody tonight, the certified official down here, and we were talking about the juniors getting involved. Up where I come from, they started a cornhole club at a local high school. Had 52 people sign up.
Is that right?
52 high schoolers and juniors sign up for that club. So great things happening in the younger ages, yeah.
And we've talked about this over the course of 17 seasons. That should. I thought that for certain that would wrap that, and I think Jack thought so too.
Yep.
That was going to wrap that back up. Now he's got to go take a timeout and go down and take a look at it. If he comes up over top, he certainly can take his in and drag one, but he also runs that risk of taking Matt's bag in as well. So he's going to assess that. But to your point about over 17 seasons, we have crowned a singles championship. And up until a few years ago, the top female competitor was called the Queen of Cornhole, and the King of Cornhole was whoever won the top male, and if that were the singles championship, knowing that ultimately we're just going to have one singles champion. But the capes do still exist.
Yeah.
So if a woman were to rise up in the year of the Rise of the Woman in the ACO and win the singles championship, she will be our first ever Queen of Cornhole. Now the question becomes the Prince or Princess of Cornhole, because one of these juniors somebody under 18 is going to win the singles championship.
Absolutely.
In the
One day
years.
it's coming.
It's coming
It's
quickly.
definitely
And
coming.
To your point about a high school having that many cornhole players sign up for a club, it's just a matter of time. He decides to play it safe after taking a look and assessing what was going on the board. And ultimately, Chris is going to award, looks like 3 points to Jack, so he was happy with that. And
we needed Chris there last night, didn't we?
Ready to lay up home, man. We needed about 8. We needed an octopus last night to keep track of what was going on with scoring. But it all got worked out, as it always does. Our officials do a bang-up job.
Yeah. And you're talking about that, the junior winning, man. I'm telling you, there are some juniors in my area that definitely, Spencer Garner took down a loaded field in Owensburg.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
yes, he did, to take the singles championship. And just today, a couple of the Kitty Club, boy, and I'll tell you what, that was a big win. They scored a huge win in the Cornhole Universe today. You saw that?
They did, absolutely.
You saw that, and that was Caitlin Ham and Maddie McBride scored over a team that's a formidable team, to be certain, and to grab that win today was outstanding. So congratulations. What do they call themselves? The Kitten Club?
The Kitty Girls.
Kitty Girls. Congratulations to the Kitty Girls. All right, another timeout now as these guys come down to take a bird's eye view of what's going on the board. Matt wants to see exactly what he's up against. Jack's bags are all kind of scattered about out front. Is Matt going to have what it takes to take that step out?
He steps out. He's going to try something here.
Come up and over. Yeah, he is.
He
and he
missed
skips off the back.
But there's that risk reward we talked about. He only gives up 1 point by taking that shot. Well, he could have knocked that bag in. He actually had 2 hanging and scored big.
Our official Chris Clark steps out to readjust the board into the pitch pad and the dimensions that are laid out by that pitch pad. One of many innovations put forth in the cornhole universe by the American Cornhole organization. More on that later. If you are a player and you are playing with new bags on tournament-style boards and have a stick side or a slick side bag filled with synthetic pellets, then you may already have been exposed to the American Cornhole organization and didn't even know it.
That's right.
That was a good push right there.
Nice clean up. Trying to minimize the damage to his bag out of play.
You know, it's interesting, too. I love this because around center court you see so many different faces. And you see Johnny Thomas after what had to be a heartbreaking performance in doubles, but still here to watch and support Jack and Matt both.
Yeah, because, you know, he plays in the area Johnny plays from. So you get that a lot. People support each other in this thing. And friendships are made in this, too.
No question, lifelong.
Lifelong friends. That goes up
and over. Oh, how about that? Nice shot.
That was very, very clean, too, in a crowded hole.
It just went.
Man,
and he's going to come over top to try to duplicate. But that's going to be the 3 spot.
Yeah.
I do believe for Jack, he regains the lead and regains the all-important first bag. Why is the first bag so important, I ask?
So you can throw that blocker or do what you want to do. Slide in, put a little pressure on your opponent.
You take control of the board, control the hole. That's all it's about.
Man, that was a nice airmail by
really
Jack.
Was.
Where there was really not a whole lot of room.
Well, we talked about this with the Gammons, the way they won their first game to continue on for that double dip, to get into that double dip scenario. That
piggyback.
That piggyback bag. It's exactly what he called it, but
oh, nice.
That was one of those where it just proves, and you think to yourself, you know, and in any sport, think about, you know, a 3-point shot in the NBA or whatever. The basket's there, but there are certain parts of the basket that these guys can aim for. There's certainly a part of the hole in a cornhole board that you are aiming for. So if you get an airmail, it's not just, how about that?
Man.
He was going for the back to try to get just enough of those bags to pull them with him, but that was for no blood right there. But to be able to hit the front side of the board, land on the bag, dislodge it enough to ride it down into the hole. And he did say that in the post-game interview. You may or may not have been able to hear him, but he talked about the fact that his friends tell him that's lucky. It's not lucky if I can keep doing it, and he can keep doing it.
That's right. It was our shot of the week so far.
Yes,
that's
it
for
really
sure.
was. There's no question.
And these guys are playing a kind of a chess game here. And I notice Jack has gone into trying to block a little bit. I don't know if you notice, all his bags have been short, his first bags.
Yeah, it's interesting right there. He did a nice job, and this should be an easy cleanup dead center.
It should be, and a possibility of 4 points, too.
Yeah, those bags are ungettable.
Matt had to make that to keep the game going 20-14.
Yes, he did. 2014 is, as you mentioned, out of the blue lane. Jack Harrow, and the winner will hold the king seat here, and then the elimination final will continue, and it'll be the loser of this match against Zach Scheibner.
Scheibner, I said it right that time. And he is over there warming up.
He is, and he's warming up with Jerry Stallions, as a matter of fact. I think it's helpful to warm up against somebody as well, not just to get that arm motion going, but also to warm up against somebody so you've got a little grist in the mill.
And you see what Jack did. That was a perfect block right there so he can take a shot at that airmail.
Boy, I tell you, he almost had that get around.
And here it comes right here.
He thought he had it. This airmail's coming up and over. Yeah, it is. Oh, and how about that? He ends up taking.
He is making it look so easy. Everything he's tried, I don't know if he's going to go again. I would probably block and make him take a shot this time. There you go.
He's going to go low.
He's going to make Matt have to make 2 bags right here.
Going to come in over the top.
Makes
he
one.
misses.
And that's your winner.
That's going to do it. All right. Well, Jack Harrow very methodically moves his way down to collect his bags in a victorious effort. Now that puts Matt Gammon down into the elimination bracket final against Zach Scheidner. Zach is grabbing his bags from the practice area, and he'll be working his way over to center court. But congratulations to Jack Harrow, who sits and awaits in the king's seat the winner of the upcoming match, and whoever wins that match, if they want to be our singles champion here in Bradenton, they're going to have to double dip him. But we have seen our share of double dips over the last couple of tournaments.
We definitely have.
So we certainly are thrilled to have that level of competition here time and time again on center court. The center court of the Cornhole universe here at the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Thanks to everybody, all of our hosts from Visit Bradenton, Mitch and Elliot and Vanessa, Anna, the entire crew here. We want to thank our crew, as a matter of fact, here in town for making this entire thing happen. Our executive producer, that would be one Eric Heinerman. Our tournament directors, Chris Clark, April Clemens. Our staging crew, the Snowman, Sean Priest. And, of course, Stevens Event Management for being here as well. So we want to thank all of them for making this happen. And we'll find out who it is that's going to be facing off against Jack Harrow to become our champion in the Bradenton Area Major as we work our way through the season 17 with the American Cornhole organization here on the Stadium Sports Network.
ACO, we are Cornhole.